Coming up in today's video, we have some insane tricks for you to check out, from new Azami spots to C4 tricks and angles. We've got it all in today's video. Now, we just fell short of our like goal for the last video, so let's make sure we smash 400 likes on today's video. Make sure to go down to the comment section, let me know what other types of videos you'd like to see. And of course, if you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So without me talking anymore, let's dive in and get started. So it's located on the second floor archives on a border, and you can get back up on these shelves. And you might remember a long time ago you used to be able to do it. There's a new way to do it, and what you do here is by placing a Kiba barrier on the side of this light, right in the corner, exactly where I pinpointed. You'll know if you got it right if you break those two panels on the top of the door. And then what you do is you jump up onto the desk, onto the monitor, and vault up on top of this shelf. And by looking straight across at the light on the wall, you'll be able to vault over the barrier up on top of the shelves. Now, there are so many things you can do from up here. You can either watch the door out into fountain, you can keep the Kiba barrier there for cover as well, or you can move over onto this other shelf, and if you lay prone on these cardboard boxes, you can see over the top of that soft wall all the way to the back of Armory. So if anyone's pushing in from that Armory side, you're able to pick them off as they're swinging out to look down towards lockers and Africa, and you can catch them completely off guard. You can also break holes in the wall to watch anyone coming through metal detector, but even one of my favorite things about this is if you lay prone and you punch a small hole in the top right of the window, you can see anyone coming up that ladder to get onto that vent window. I'm going to show you here from the other perspective of what the bullets are hitting on the other side. So they're just going to come swinging in here. They will not see you. They're not going to see you up there unless of course you got droned out. But I'm telling you, this is such an amazing spot to try out. So make sure to give it a go. And moving on to the next trick, guys, and I have a silent C4 trick to show off here. Now, this is just an example here on Cafe on the third floor inside the cigar lounge. Now, this was around a long time ago, and I actually didn't know that it still works today, and it's such a strong trick to use. So this is a perfect example here. Top red, people trying to drop down the hatch to come onto that top floor or try to get the wall open. And what you can do is if you shoot the wall open, making sure in between the spikes makes it a little easier to place the C4. So for example, you shoot a couple of holes in the wall like you can see on screen, making sure to get that other piece of the soft wall so you can see the metal reinforcement. You can then place the C4 up onto that metal part of the reinforcement, and I'm going to let you listen to the sound so you can hear it disappear. So as you can see, there's literally no sound from this C4 behind that little bit of the wall. And I'll show again here, and I can just place it again on that metal part and you won't hear anything. There's no sound from it whatsoever. I'll show the difference here on the other side. If I just shoot one layer of the wall off, leaving that brown part of the wall still there and throwing the C4 on it, you can still hear the sound. So this is such a strong trick and can be probably used on so many other walls and maps. Now moving over onto Consulate for this next one. Big shout out to Gustus for finding this one. So it's located in the Visa office, just off that Visa stairs. You can get up on top of the vending machine. Now how you do this is if you reinforce the door. You might remember me showing you the spawn peak on Consulate here. You just reinforce the door and make two punch holes in the bottom of it. And then what you can do here is if you go and vault over this little wall here and push up against the chairs, you'll actually slowly walk up on top of them. You can then run onto the little ledge, and from there you can just vault through the door. And as you're vaulting through, turn and look at the vending machine and you'll get another vault prompt up on top of it. Now up here, obviously people are going to be like, well, you're so visible to everyone. You get picked off from anyone coming in that main lobby. But what you can do as well is if you play Azami, you could put an Azami barrier on that pillar on the side of the stairs. So you could look over the top of it, and they will be so confused when they come in and see that Kiba barrier. They won't expect you to be on the vending machine, and you can pop up and pick them off. Now the best part about this is that it's not just the vending machine. If you run across onto these crates in the corner, you can tuck yourself in against the wall and they will not see you as they're coming in through Visa. They'll come down the hallway to head up Visa stairs and you can just pick them off and get an easy kill. So staying on Consulate for this next one, this is a really strong angle that you can use on the second floor inside reception. If you're holding this room waiting for attackers to come up that spiral staircase, what you can do is over next to the red mat on the floor, if you shoot a small hole in the floor, you'll be able to see right onto the bottom of that spiral staircase. But the great thing about this angle is because it's right above that door in the hallway downstairs, as they're walking through, it will not be in their eye line, so they won't see it and they'll be pushing through the spiral and they won't notice that hole in the ceiling, and you can pick them off. And moving on to Outback for this next one, and a big shout out to Horse Puncher for finding this one. It's located on the first floor near the back entrance. Now you can get up on top of the vending machine here, the same technique as the one on Consulate. You put the door up and you make 2 holes in the bottom of it, and by jumping up on the bench to the left, you can then vault through the door, and as you're vaulting through, look to your left and you can vault up on top of the vending machines. Now again, everyone's going to be like, well, everyone's going to see you. You're coming in bottom yellow door. They're just going to see you sitting on the vending machine. Well, I think this is a really strong one if the bomb site is down inside the green room, because when it's down inside the bedrooms, what this allows you to do is if you put a Kiba barrier right in the middle of the vending machines and then another one on the door to the right, you can really use this as a power position for anyone trying to come in that yellow door and trying to get that wall open into the bomb site. Moving on to Chalet for this next one, and a big shout out to 02 for finding this one. This is a really sick Azami setup that you can use in that blue hallway on the basement level. So what you can do is on the side of this little electrical box, exactly where I pinpointed, if you place a Kiba barrier there, it'll actually leave a small gap on the side of the wall. Now then, if you move forward a little bit, right on this wooden beam, if you place the Kiba barrier again where I've pinpointed, you can sit behind this barrier and there's a small gap all the way to the staircase as they're making their way down. Now because of the second barrier, they cannot see you, but you can see them perfectly, and I'll show it here from the other side what this looks like. So you've got the whole view of that staircase, but for them coming down the stairs, they will not be able to see anything. And this is so strong because it's literally a one-way angle, and they will have to destroy the barriers, which will distract them, and you can swing out and pick them off. So this is such a strong setup. And moving on to Villa for this next one, and this is a couple of Goyo setups and a bulletproof spot that you can use. So located inside the games room on the second floor, if you jump up on this counter here and looking at the flower pot to the right, you can run and get up on top of it. From here you can run across onto the countertop, and what you can do then is place a Goyo inside that little shelf, and they will not be able to see this because they'll be rushing in from that door in the hallway to try and get the plant down, and you can shoot it all the way from inside the vault. You can then place a bulletproof cam up on the wall as well, which is again a really strong cam to watch all the way overside and the doorway out into the hallway. Now a second really strong Goyo spot that you can use is for the top of main stairs just near books. If you break the books on the shelf and if you crouch spam as you're trying to place it, it'll actually go up in through the shelf onto the wall. Now it's completely invisible for anyone coming down the hallway. They will not see it, anyone coming up the stairs. And of course this delays so much time, so you can sit down in 90 and as they're pushing it, you can shoot the Goyo and destroy it. Now staying on Villa for this next one, just inside the aviator room, this is a really strong C4 that you can use to stop that plant behind the vault door. Now you might have seen the one that I showed over on Coastline in one of my recent videos. This is very similar. So what you could do is in the prep phase, you could just make these holes and have them ready so that in a situation where you can't get the person behind the vault door, you can come over, lay prone, and looking exactly where I pinpointed, you can see that little pipe running along the wall. If you can get your C4 right in around by that pipe, and then when you detonate it, it will kill anyone planting the diffuser. Moving on to the last one here over on Nighthaven. This is an Azami spot located inside the storage on the first floor. Now this is kind of more a little bit for fun, especially when this is kind of a high traffic room for people to go into. So what you can do is right on the corner of this dolly, if you put it right in the top corner, exactly where I pinpointed, you can jump up on the counter and run across and vault up on top of the crates. Now one of the things you need to know is as you're running towards the barrier, you need to be kind of turning to your right so that you'll get that vault prompt, and then you're up on top of the crates. And once you're up here, you can hold angled on the window, the door coming in from the garage, and the door going out into games. You can also lay prone and go in under the shelf and tuck yourself into the corner so that maybe they won't see you if they're jumping in the window. But again, it is a risky spot, but it's a fun one to try out. So that's it for the video, guys. The most important thing I'm going to tell you right now is join up on my Discord. The link is down in the description. If you have any tricks you'd like to have featured in a future video, head over to my Discord. There's a section that you can post all the stuff in. And if you have not come over to my Twitch channel yet, I stream over there quite regularly, so come on over and hang out. You'll be able to see some of these spots in action. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload my next video. And as always,
Yes, call 'em up.